You're listening to the Midwest's most dangerous podcast, LockPod, coming to you live from the NICA IBW Powering Indiana Lake County Studios. This is Season 18, Episode 2, and it's going to be a unique one. Welcome aboard, everybody.
Good morning.
Hey.
Morning. Hi, Jill.
Hey.
What's up, Jill? Welcome to Season 18.
What up?
Good to see you.
Thank you for the nut roll. I almost choked on it, though.
Right.
You did almost choke on the nut roll.
Can that be the title?
Right off the
Or is
bat.
this too serious?
I
of an
almost choked
episode?
on
I
a
almost
walnut.
choked on
I
it,
almost
yeah.
choked on the nut roll.
What's up, J-Vez?
Good morning.
We have a guest in the studio. This is going to be a busy show. First off, we have the current county councilman for Lake County District 1. District
Uno,
1, Dave
we like to
Hamm.
call
Good
it.
to see you. Dave and I have been friends for a long, long time. I have intros for you guys, but we also have Scott Miller in the studio. Scott Miller is running for Lake County Council. Do you guys care if I go through your intros real quick, and then we'll just jump into it?
Are these the ChatGPT versions or no?
I mean, it may have been
Yeah.
helped with ChatGPT, but your website provided most of it.
I wanted to do one thing quick also and remind everybody to please stick around. We've got a great show. Jason Gore's going to come on at 8:05. We're also going to be simulcast on WJOB AM 1230 and online as well.
Really cool. We've
Yeah.
never done this before, so if it screws up big time,
Not our fault.
blame Vesmar, blame WJOB. It's definitely not our fault.
You can
We'll
definitely
be fine here. Just
Yeah.
if you
I don't
can't get the
care.
feed on JOB, we're still here on Facebook, YouTube, everything else.
So we got two halves of the show, basically. The first half we're doing with Dave and Scott, and then we're going to do all of our ads. You know, you guys have been here before. You know how we do it. We're going to do all of our ads today, so it's going to be a little different in that regard. And then the second half of the show, we're going live with WJOB AM 1230. Jason Gore is going to be in the studio, and then we're going to finish the show that way. So it's a unique show. We've done
Pre-election day.
Dave,
show.
we've done like almost 500 of these shows. This is the first time we've ever done something like this.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Dave,
Well-
Dave and I have been friends for...
First time we've been simulcast.
This is the first time Dave's been in the studio.
Right.
And
Oh,
we've,
first time I've been in this office, yeah.
we've been friends for 25 plus
Yeah.
years, right? Dave
About
was the
25
first elected
years.
official that supported me. We live across the street from each other. But here, I'm going to go through your guys' intros, and then we'll jump in if that's all right.
Great.
Let's talk about Dave Hamm first. It's important before we talk about Scott Miller, it's important to talk about the man whose seat Scott's looking to fill, outgoing Lake County Councilman Dave Hamm. Dave's been a fixture in Hammond and Lake County public service for decades. He actually started on the Hammond City Council, serving during the time I first took office as mayor before moving on to county government. But Dave's roots go even deeper than that. Dave spent years as a Hammond police officer and firefighter, working his way all the way up through the ranks to eventually become Hammond's fire chief. After that, Dave continued his public service on the Lake County Council, where he's been involved in overseeing budgets, fiscal policy, and the long-term financial direction of the county. And now, after all these years of service, Dave announced earlier this year that he will not be seeking re-election. In government, you don't see that often. Somebody voluntarily saying, I'm done. I'm stepping aside. But Dave did that, and he should be thanked for doing that. But he didn't just step aside quietly. He made it clear who he thinks should take over for him, endorsing Scott Miller as his successor. So this really is a passing of the torch moment from someone who served at just about every level of local government to somebody he believes ready to step in. Scott Miller. That's a nice one, right, Dave?
Very good, yeah.
Is that you?
I'll take it.
It's accurate, right? I mean,
It is.
I
yeah.
didn't slander you or anything.
I did all.
You did all that?
I did that.
See,
Yeah, I did.
Kevin-
You
Kevin's
believe
always
you
waiting.
did all that?
Kevin's always waiting
No.
for me to make a mistake. He's
No.
like, please be wrong.
Seemed accurate. I looked at it this morning. I made sure.
You always,
Signed off by the
you
lawyer.
always do, Kev.
Right.
Not always.
All right, let's introduce Scott Miller. Scott Miller, candidate for Lake County Council District 1, is a guy with a deep bench when it comes to experience. 14 years spent in the classroom, 5 years as a school administrator. That was at the Hammond Area Career Center, right?
Yes.
And then 5 years running the entire Hammond school system as School City Hammond superintendent. That's real hands-on leadership, not just theory. And now he's serving as the chief of staff for me in the city of Hammond. He works in the mayor's office as my chief of staff, where Scott's right in the middle of all the things going on, managing budgets, making tough calls, helping guide major decisions that impact residents every day in the city of Hammond, including playing a key role behind the scenes in Hammond's push to bring the Chicago Bears to Northwest Indiana. Scott's campaign is built around something you don't always hear in politics anymore: responsible financial stewardship, transparency, and actually focusing on results. He's running to represent Hammond, Munster, and Highland on the county council, and Scott says he's ready to bring leadership and long-term thinking to county government. Let's get into it. Nice?
Let's do it.
It's like, it sounds just like you, right?
Yes. Yeah. financial stewardship in the long term, transparency, all those things for sure. And you've modeled a lot of that in Hammond as well. Is I have seen that you got to have the long view in order to get things done. So,
Can I ask you about your name tag?
of course you can.
Please, let's. First of all, I love the fact that it's like the one that says Scott Miller, and it's you, like right. It says Scott Miller, and
It's
you
just
can
my
wear,
name
like you
tag.
just wear it.
Yeah.
But there's something about those. I've heard. I can't tell you, just independently of the fact that, in my opinion, you're going to win. I have heard so many great things about your signs.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little background about why
It was a good
these signs
choice. It
are
was a good
so?
choice.
Yeah.
Sure. So I designed a boring sign first, honestly, and I'm going to give credit to my wife Tracy, who said, that just looks like everybody else's sign. She goes, why don't you do something that like reflects you? And I love music. I've played guitar since high school. I like heavy music, and so came up with this Metallica inspired. It's not exactly the same.
It's
but
a rip off. Let's be honest.
All right.
Yeah, I think
wanna get
Metallica's
sued.
going to
No,
sue you when this thing's
we didn't-
over.
No,
That'd be okay. You got sued by Metallica.
That would be awesome to get sued by Metallica. I'll
bring a
settle
lot of-
for 4 tickets to the Spirit.
Yeah, that's
right? They bring a lot of attention, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, I've had people tell me like they had family members come in from out of town and get out of their vehicles and take pictures with my signs. and
That's
stuff
awesome.
Like that.
They're like,
So,
That is great.
Exactly.
That is great.
So the whole point of a sign is to bring attention, and it's definitely
Mission accomplished.
in a crowd of many signs. It has helped stand out.
Yeah, definitely. And for example, I know, and Dave, you served on the Lake County Council, what, 3 terms? Is that accurate? 4?
3.5.
3.5, almost
because
4.
of caucus, yeah.
And
who left?
Mike
When you
Ripe.
Mike Ripe, that's right.
Became
when he
commissioner.
became commissioner, right? Okay.
So, I mean, as far as if you're a voter, Scott, what do you like? How do you say to a voter like, "Oh, I'm going to be your county councilman, and that's why this is important"?
Yeah, I think what's really important is, and the thing I've said the most in all the stops I've made is talking about Senate Bill 1. This is Governor Braun's tax plan. I'm not going to get in the weeds, but it's going to negatively impact police and fire, our township resources, which serve our most vulnerable residents in their time of need, and it's going to affect libraries. And I have yet to find a person on the campaign who said, you know what, I don't care about police and fire. I don't care about the township. That's fine. That should just, we should fund them a bunch less. So that is going to absolutely happen during the next 4-year term, that the county council is going to have to step in and say, we're going to support these things or we're not. And I'm here to say publicly, I am absolutely in favor of continuing financial support for those institutions. And if Dave was going again, I know he would as well.
You got it, Scott. Absolutely.
You know what, Scott? I'm sorry, Dave. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's all right. Your show. But
What are you looking at, Dave?
Scott, I felt something tugging at me. I thought it was.
That was Vesmar.
Joe.
That was Vesmar. He's under the table.
Okay,
But
all
that's
right.
why
Tugging on you.
this is why I feel so comfortable with Scott. Scott and I think alike. Now that doesn't mean I can pass the torch, as Tom said. I can't just say, Scott, you're the councilman from now on. But
Right.
we work and think a lot alike. I'm very comfortable with working with Scott. It seems like, you know what Scott's attribute is? He'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
You might not want to hear it, but you're going to get the truth.
True story.
And it's comforting to walk away knowing somebody can tell me, this is great.
And Dave, you feel that like Scott's got the temperament and the experience,
Yes.
and the knowledge of
The
things like
knowledge.
fiscal matters that
Oh,
you think he
yeah.
could step in on day one and do a great job for the residents of the
Exactly.
first district.
I think he'd get along very well with somebody that thought a lot of that being Scott Schmall. Mm-hmm. We've all heard of him. I'm not
Yeah,
familiar, but Scott Miller's met him, and they're going to get along very well together because of the financial background that they both have.
Scott mentioned something earlier about the libraries and the townships and the impact of SB1, especially on those 2 units of government. The interesting thing about SB1 is it obviously, it doesn't go into effect until 2028, the year after I run, if I run again. I'm not announcing anything. But the thing about it is, when SB1 goes into effect, cities have the option to cover the losses by increasing their municipal income tax, right? Schools have the option to cover their losses by floating referendums, right?
Right.
The interesting thing about libraries in township is they don't have any way to increase their revenue. They're just going to experience losses. And they have to rely on the county council, if they're going to stay in existence. And if the county council or the county commissioners say, sorry, we're not giving you any money, they have they're just going to absorb losses, and they can't absorb any more losses.
Yeah, it's going to be
So
tough.
it's interesting to hear Scott talking about
Agree.
that.
Yeah, and those are things that I think for me included, like you don't really think about like, oh, what does the county council do, right? What do they do? But like that's a really, really important function. Is a
Yes.
fiscal. It is the fiscal body of the county.
You know, one other big thing, Mayor mentioned my role with the Bears, but honestly, when they do come, I'm a strong believer that they'll wake up one day, if they haven't already, and say Indiana by far and away is the superior long-term solution. But a public part of that is a countywide 1% food and beverage tax, and it's going to take leadership on the county council again to say
If the Bears come. Right.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm reading the tea leaves. I think the best deal by far is Northwest Indiana.
So you're
and
pro
Hammond.
Bears.
Absolutely.
Pro Bears. Pro
He's like,
Hammond
nope,
Bears.
I'm a
I'm a
Packer
pro
fan.
Like, the whole race is lost right there.
No,
I was given
no.
softballs. I mean,
I was really impressionable when the Bears were in their Super Bowl run. You know,
Yeah.
I had all the McDonald's cards with the players, everything.
Yeah,
so
man.
Well, the Packers fan, what did he text? I look like Mr. Freeze from
Mr.
Batman.
Freeze from Batman. There
Oh,
might be a
you
little
talking
bit
Warple?
there.
Mailman. Yeah, he,
Yeah.
Councilman Werple.
Yeah.
It's just closer for him to go see a Packers game.
But that's
I
going to be
know.
part of it, and I know you're going to talk about this a lot later. But like if you want to save money on the county, you want to save $7 million right off the bat. Let's reform this jail so we're not being sued all the time and having to pay millions upon millions of tax dollars. I hope people listen. That's your tax money having to go because the jail's not run the right way.
And by the way, Scott, that's interesting because Hammond also runs a jail. And I'm going to knock on wood right now because we also run a jail. It's not nearly the size of Lake County Jail, in fairness, but we don't get constant lawsuits as a result of the jail that we run because we run it in the right way.
Exactly.
I mean, we are having problems in the Lake County Jail. Lake County's being sued for these problems. That means we need to change the person that runs the Lake County Jail, and that's what we're trying to do with our next guest. So we'll get into that next. But
Sure, but like $7 million is $7 million. That could
Heck
go
yeah.
to project improvements. That could go to additional services across the county. But instead, we got to pay it for lawsuits. That's not good. Great use. And it's not the council's fault. They're just reacting to the realities of the
you
situation.
can't help. That's what I always point out is when you get sued, it's not like it was a decision. Yeah, like if you get sued, somebody made the decision to sue you. I mean, it's not your fault, on the county council.
when it's a judgment bond, I don't know if
Yeah.
a lot of people understand the difference between the different bonds, but when it's a judgment bond, you pretty much you don't have a choice. But Scott hits the nail on the head. A lot of things that we talk about, he's already considered.
Scott knows what's going on. I
Scott
agree.
knows what's going on.
Dave,
Scott-
I want to say thanks, by the way, for you, because you just don't see this, and I've said it a number of times. Dave knows where I'm going with this, but we're on this show. It's new audience. You don't see people in the Democratic Party in 2026 voluntarily stepping down. We used to be the party of young people, and now we're the party of people that refuse to leave. And I'm getting close to when I'm going to have to make decisions like the one you're making right now. But I respect you greatly. Because you could easily have run for another term, and you would have easily won. No doubt about it, but you made a decision. It's time for the younger generation to step up.
It is. I mean, I had made a decision before that once I got about 70, and I'll be 70 this year, it's time for somebody else. Scott, actually 20 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Is Debbie happy that you're retiring?
Debbie is happy, but Debbie's happy all the time.
That is true.
Debbie's always happy.
She is sweetie.
But and by the way, she's got a couple fans. She likes Tom, but she just met Scott. She admires Scott.
Yeah.
She really likes Scott.
She's down on Kevin, I heard.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Well, she likes Steve.
She does like Steve.
Yeah, well,
See,
she
we're still
likes
going-
one half
We're
of
going
Smith
right down
Sarsic.
the line. I haven't heard my name yet.
Yeah. She's fans of Jill and Bez
And
also.
Bez too, yeah.
It's funny. Yeah.
That's how it goes. That's normal around here.
Debbie
Don't
told
worry.
me, yeah,
Tolerates Kevin.
Kevin's great. He's got the greatest law partner in the world.
That's
He
what
has
I
great
got going
choice
for
in
me.
law
Good
partners.
choice.
Yeah.
Good choice in friends. Speaking of which, my neighbor and friend, Scott Miller, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How's the campaign trail? Because this is your first time running for office.
Sure.
Right? Obviously, you've always been like an executive, you're chief of staff, you're in the mix, but like the campaign trail is a unique place.
I have found it to be very positive and very accepting. I am just going to acknowledge when you're a leader, sometimes mayors had to do this over his 22 years of being mayor. You have to make decisions sometimes that are challenging, and good leaders don't shy away from challenging decisions. They do what's right. And I had to do some difficult things, but they were the right things. You were one of my public supporters during that time. You said, you know what? People kicked this can for years, but he did the right things. And I was just as curious how that would play out, but it's been very positive. People have, everywhere I've gone, they've appreciated that that I am talking about actual things that the county council is going to do, that they can tell that I'm intelligent and well-spoken, and that I listen. I ask them, hey, what would you like to see out of the county council? And a lot of times their first answer is, what is the county council?
Right, I was going to say, that's a tough question.
Yeah, right. But just talking to people about, okay, so you oversee the health department, you oversee our Lake County parks, you oversee the financing for the court system, for the jail, for our county officers, for road improvements, for unincorporated areas, all of these things.
Bridges.
Then you can have a good conversation. But it's been very positive all the way around. And I've met a lot of new friends in Highland and Munster, even a few new ones in Hammond. So it's been great. Thanks for asking.
Awesome. It's exciting. And Election Day is coming Tuesday.
Your opponent works in Cal City, and that's not a big deal to me. And I'm not going to mention her name, okay? But the funny thing is, as soon as she filed to run against you, the mayor of Cal City called me and apologized. He's like, I want you to know, Mayor, because I know that is really well.
Yeah.
He called me up and he's like, I just want you to know we have nothing to do with this. This is totally out of left field. I thought that was interesting.
wow.
But it strikes me as she's an economic development person in Cal City, and her job is to try to take business from us. And now she wants to come over here and run as a county council person, but her full-time job is taking development from Hammond and from Indiana and from your council district. I just don't get how she thinks those two mesh. It's like a conflict of interest, I don't know. You need ideas about that, Dave?
Scott? Well,
I'll let Dave handle that one.
I think it's a little silly. I don't even know how long his opponent's been here.
I didn't even know she lived here. I met her for the first time.
Therefore, it's a little difficult for me to say anything good, bad, or otherwise.
Agree.
I don't think I'd notice her if I walked into a store.
I would now because she's running and we know who she is. But before, I would not have known who she was.
To me, the way I look at it is, there's a candidate that has a ton of experience and a ton of executive experience, leadership experience, understands the issues. Because I sit in meetings with Scott, right? I sit in meetings at the highest level with Scott and with you, Mayor.
All the meetings.
And I know that
Basically.
all the meetings. You
guys are
all the meetings.
The meetings about meetings. So, and I know that Scott contributes to those meetings. I know that you look to Scott for advice. I know that you look to Scott for his opinion. And that's the kind of person I want to have, someone knowledgeable with the experience
when
that
I hired
can step
Scott,
in day one.
When I hired him, it's I want another smart guy in the room. And I knew he was a smart guy, and I knew he was not happy in his last position. And I knew that I had an opening that I thought he was qualified for. And it's just anytime you put another smart guy in the room, we're all just sitting there smart person, excuse me, right? Another smart person in the room, because we have a number of amazingly talented women working in my administration as well. It's just I like having smart people around me.
It's smart to do that.
It's
And
smart.
Scott's,
fun, but
I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about just general things. Scott's such a moderate. Mm-hmm. He doesn't go out one way or the other too far.
I agree with you, bro.
He's patient, doesn't get excited, thinks about it.
But I think
it ends up right in the middle.
I think even politically, he's very moderate because I know him as a person. I know he's very, he's conservative in a lot of ways, but he's also a Democrat.
But I know that Scott would serve in a moderate role. And be able to represent the most hardcore conservatives in Munster, as well as the most hardcore liberals in Hammond.
Agree.
And Scott's one guy that can do that.
It's pretty simple. I would say it this way. Yes, I'm a Democrat, but I'm not looking to redefine society. I'm looking to have government help its residents. That's what I'm doing.
And that's what we want. So, Scott, before you wrap it up.
We got another minute before we have to wrap it up.
I'm sorry.
Right? But I do want to. I saw Scott under pressure for a couple years in a row, maybe even a few years. Okay. And I tell you, he never lost his cool. And I tell you, there's many times I would have been like, fuck off to a lot of these people, right? Yeah. I would have probably, gone to postal on some of these people. It was completely unfair. This is going back to your point, Dave. This guy was under fire for years and maintained his cool the whole time. And that's why I knew him and I were going to be great as a team. And I'm so glad you came in and you've made a big difference to the city of Hammond. And I'm proud of you and Dave for partnering up and going in this venture. I support it 1,000%. I know that it's going to be a good day for you on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Where's that? If I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but where's your victory party once you win this?
Yeah, over at the newly remodeled. It's been a year, I suppose, but Flick's Kitchen at the Gene Shepherd Center.
That's a cool place.
It is a super cool place.
And you could play some pickleball, while you're celebrating Scott's victory. So after, are you going to be watching the numbers come in there too, Scott?
I will.
Okay.
I will. Yeah.
It's exciting. Scott, where can we go to learn more about you real quick before we let you go?
Sure, electscottmiller.com.
electscottmiller.com. John will put that up in the chat.
Yeah.
And, of course, you can get a hold of Scott that way if you need anything, and I'm sure he'll be around on Election Day. So awesome, Scott.
Absolutely.
Good luck.
Get out and vote, everybody.
Yes.
You know,
That's what we
these elections have very low numbers a lot of times because you have to declare a party. But to vote for great people like Scott Miller, you got to pool at your party and
That's right.
vote.
Pull a D.
You got to pull it by Tuesday.
Yes, you can vote
day.
today till 3 o'clock. You can vote tomorrow 9 to 3 on Saturday. You can vote on Monday 9 to noon, and of course Election Day 6 to 6 at your local polling place.
Dave Hamm, Scott Miller. Thank you guys very much for coming to Lockpod. It goes quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, thanks, fellas.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having us.
We're not used to being on time like this. Like we have like hard deadlines today. I'm sorry I didn't mean to interrupt you, Dave.
No, go ahead.
No, I mean
I'm just saying.
done.
No, appreciate being here.
It's good to see Dave Hamm in the house. They're retiring. I can't call you Councilman for much longer. So Councilman Hamm.
you can call it the
Oh,
rest of the
man.
year.
I still get called Chief from when I was.
I call you.
fire
I call you
chief.
Chief still.
A lot of people do. Some
Yeah.
people you see annually, you know, down in Indy or something.
I call you a lot of stuff, but Chief.
I know you
so-
do, but it works both
Love you
ways.
guys,
Tom.
man. Appreciate you.
Thanks,
Wish
fellas.
you the best. Good job.
Thanks,
Welcome to
guys.
Lockpod, man. Good to see you,
Appreciate
David.
the opportunity to be
So,
here with Scott.
That's
Scott
Dave
Miller.
Hamm, the outgoing county councilman, and hopefully the incoming county councilman, Scott Miller. Welcome
Awesome
to
to have
Lockpod.
you
Thanks for
guys.
being here, guys. All right, let's do it.
Get some nut rolls in the kitchen.
All right, audience, we got to get our ads done. And by 8:05, we're going to simulcast live with Jim Didolo at WJOB, and we're going to have Jason Gore in the studio. So we got to get through these ads, and in 8 minutes, we're going to be simulcast live, a marriage between terrestrial radio and podcast. It doesn't happen.
I'm
very
almost
often.
feeling like I feel like the room's shaking.
Dude, I had to dress nicer today. I didn't wear some bullshit shirt. I got a nice shirt on. I didn't want to
Wait a
roll it.
minute.
By the
What do you
way,
mean? What's
Jill,
a bullshit shirt? By the way,
half the fucking shit I wear when I get in here is bullshit. And by the way,
this is why we're now. I was going to say top.
get it out right now because we cannot cuss, Jill. After
Aw,
8:05,
shit.
I know. It's
All right,
bullshit.
you mother.
Get it out.
Scratchers.
Shit. Fuck.
Can we say mother
Get it all out.
scratchers?
Get it all out right now because when we go on, and if we cuss after 8:05, Jim Didolo gets sued. So don't
That's
do
tempting.
that.
So
don't do that.
definitely don't.
Don't do that to Jim Didolo, right? Jim's he's
Tom-
listening right now.
As
Like I
Tom
don't know
warns
about this.
himself over and over again.
WJOB just connected to us.
Whoa.
So we have, I think this is going to happen at 8:05.
All
All
right.
right, let's go.
We
All
can
right.
still swear until 8:04.
Yeah, we
right?
can.
Damn
Okay.
right we can swear.
Okay.
So-
No.
All right, let's start off with
practice not swearing. now.
Powering Indiana Lake County, our premier and studio sponsors. Powering Indiana Lake County is your source for the region's most trusted electricians. At Powering Indiana Lake County, we set the standard for excellence in electrical work. As IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors, we ensure safety, reliability, and quality for Northwest Indiana corporations, businesses, and homes. But our mission goes beyond the job site. We're creating a brighter future for the region we proudly serve. Powering Indiana Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community. Find the right electrical contractor at poweringindiana.org.
For decades, the Ron J. Prestomer Insurance Agency has been locked. God.
Wow, welcome
It's
back,
been
Jill.
a month. Whew.
Welcome
Yeah, right.
back.
This is also the same
This your
copy
first
for the
read?
last 5 years.
You're getting old then.
You can do it in your sleep,
I
Jill.
can't see
You need
shit.
glasses.
Anyway, for decades, the Ron J. Prestomer Insurance Agency has been located right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. The Prestomer Agency specializes in a wide range of insurance products and services, including home, auto, business, life, and much more. The Prestomer Agency serves thousands of people and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron and Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you. Hablamos Español.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and outdoor patio, serving its award-winning craft beer, chef-driven food menu, and craft cocktails on draft. Their brewing equipment and production facility offer a unique backdrop for events like bridal showers, reunions, or corporate parties. With their amazing food truck, they can cater to your corporate and private events off-site. Just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit, let them show you that customer service is their top priority. Check out more at bywaybrewing.beer.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón.
219 Development and Bauer Construction. Longtime friends of the show and premier studio sponsor, this powerhouse duo represents two outstanding companies deeply invested in building and supporting our hometowns. 219 Development and Bauer Construction. 219 Development's focused on smart, responsible redevelopment across Northwest Indiana, and Bauer Construction is the boots-on-the-ground team that brings those visions to life. Those aren't just builders, they're community partners. If you want to build something meaningful in the region or wherever your vision takes you, start with 219 Development and Bauer Construction. Reach them at 219-268-8484 or email Jack Farino at jrfarino@219dev.com. That's jrfarino@219dev.com.
MCR Partners is your one-stop destination for top-notch expertise in economic development, finance, and planning. With a dedicated team geared up to tackle your projects head-on, they're your go-to comprehensive solution providers. Dive into the world of economic development with MCR Partners and let them guide you through the maze of opportunities. Stay in the loop and connected by hitting up their website, mcrpartnersllc.com. For tailored assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511.
Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a 40-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team, led by Rick Baltensberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing, always on time and within budget. Conveniently located in Munster and Hammond, Misprint is your partner for creating impactful visual solutions that leave a lasting impression. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today.
The Branding Room Floor. Don't let your business get lost in the shuffle of generic branding and aimless marketing. The Branding Room Floor is Northwest Indiana's best full-time, full-service marketing agency, providing data-driven results to help your business grow in a crowded market. From website development and digital advertising to graphic design and branding, the Branding Room Floor will set your business or organization on a clear path to strategic success. Don't wait another day to get started. Visit thebrandingroomfloor.com today.
Cantrell & Cantrell, attorneys at law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give Cantrell & Cantrell a call and schedule your consultation with someone who is in court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife Kristen make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
Guess who's back? Back again. The bug guys are back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's
That's
back?
what I was waiting for.
The Bug Guys Pest Control. Number one in the streets and number one in your hearts. Having insects or rodent issues? Question mark. Ants, spiders, bees, mice, or more? Question mark. Call the Bug Guys Pest Control. No contracts, no hassles, just results. Call 219-810-7481 or find us on Facebook. The Bug Guys Pest Control. Tell the pests we are on our way.
It's good to have the bug guys back just because I feel like it's springtime. So getting them out there and helping at the house is going to be awesome. Get the bug guys.
Shut the fuck up, Kevin.
What the?
Oh, you can't
go.
swear.
Whoa.
You cannot
Not
swear.
8:05.
Yet.
We have
Go.
a minute and a half.
We have
Yes.
3 ads left.
We have one ad left.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I'm
I
taking
thought-
my time
okay.
instead of looking at
I
you,
was like-
moving your fingers like you're going out of your mind. Everything's good. Calumet Brewing. This Bud's for you. For 150 years, Budweiser has been farmed, brewed, bottled, and enjoyed across America thanks to hardworking Americans and the highest quality American farmed ingredients. We're not just made in America, we're made of America. Budweiser is also the official beer of the Chicago Cubs and will be celebrating alongside their 150th anniversary this season. Go Cubs, go. Enjoy beers and cheers to 150 years responsibly.
All
Look
right.
at that.
It's like
With
a
45
countdown.
seconds to spare. Take it easy.
All right. We're not used to deadlines in Lockpod.
What are we going to talk about for 30
It's like
seconds?
Hold
New
it.
Year's.
We could
What's up,
cuss
Jay?
for 30 more seconds, right? Technically.
Hell yeah, we can.
I wouldn't risk it.
Hey, Jay,
No.
welcome to the studio. We're about to go live. You got to pull that up.
So
Tyler.
for those that
There
are
we go.
listening on Facebook, YouTube, X, on our usual feed, or just on, your stream service, just stay tuned. We're going to do a countdown here because we're going to go simulcast.
Jim said, remember to say paid show on WJOB.
Am I doing the intro
Ooh,
in 15
yeah.
seconds?
You have to say paid
Okay,
show.
so
on
at
WJOB.
8:05 exactly?
8:05 exactly.
All right, we got 10 seconds, everybody.
Paid
Hang
show
on.
on WJOB.
This is
9,
exciting.
8,
Exciting.
Okay,
Seven.
here we
I feel
go.
like it's New Year's.
6, 5.
5,
4,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, Northwest Indiana. Welcome to WJOB Simulcast Live with Lockpod, Left of Center Podcast. This is a paid show. I want to thank Jim Dietelo. This is the Midwest's most dangerous podcast. Jim Dietelo helped us come up with that. Coming to you live from the Lake County studios. Jim, how you doing over there?
I don't.
Well, he's not talking
not
to
on.
us.
Okay, never mind.
We're
never mind.
simulcasting, meaning we
Oh,
simulcast
I thought
on JOB.
I thought we were working together on this.
Jim, can we restart?
Take two.
Hey, everybody, this is Mayor Tom McDermott here in the studios with Kevin Smith, my co-host, along with Jill Gajewski and John Vesmar, and we have a special guest in our studio right now, Jason Gore, who's running for Lake County Sheriff. Welcome to the studio, Jason.
Good morning, everybody. How we doing?
Great, man.
Welcome back to Lockpod.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
This is history we're making right now. We have a humongous audience.
Oh, wow.
Live from all over Northwest Indiana.
With a cast of thousands.
That's right.
Yes,
I
sir.
hope so.
Yes,
Tens
sir.
of thousands. And you're going to make history on Tuesday.
Yes.
That's what we're looking forward to.
Jason,
It
I
is.
want to remind you we're on the radio, so you got to watch your language, okay?
I will watch it ardently.
Yeah, because we don't want Jim Didolo to get sued.
Absolutely
That
not.
would be a horrifying
I would
event.
lose sleep.
Jim's like, why did I do this?
I love it when Mayor Tom talks to himself. He's like reminding himself.
All right, hey, we're here on the live simulcast with Jason Gore, a husband, a father, and a newly retired ATF agent. Worked with the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, where he was in the ranks for the last 20 years. Born and raised in the region, Jason began his award-winning 27-year law enforcement career as a Maryville police officer and detective. From humble beginnings, Jason, and that is very true, Jason grew up with a single mother, right?
Yes.
Jason is proud to have had an exemplary career marked with integrity, earning top secret security clearance in the United States, and most recently putting him as the ATF on-scene tactical commander of the 2024 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Jason believes there's a better way to improve public safety and Lake County's future, and it's not falling on the back of what's been done before. Welcome to Lockpod again, Jason Gore.
Yes, thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah.
Awesome to have you in the studio, Jason.
Yeah, we are 4 short days away
Who's
from
counting?
the election.
Who's counting?
Every day.
I know you love me and I love you, but you know, I'm not going to talk to you for like 2 weeks.
I get it. I'm going fishing after this.
I'm going in my RV.
Yeah, I'm going fishing,
Everybody's like,
so.
"Where are you going?" I'm like, "I have no idea." It's going to be pointed south where it's warmer, allegedly.
So, Jason, how's it going on the camp, just in general? Because for those that maybe haven't heard from you before, but I think a lot of people have by this time because you're everywhere. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in the campaign and how everything's going.
So there's a lot of things going on in the campaign. You know, interestingly enough for me is I've been running for over a year now. I retired in March, announced in April, and been running ever since. It feels so odd to be at the finish line of this and knowing that this is going to be over soon. In the process, I've met a ton of great people, had some great experiences. I've built a wonderful team, that we talk to every day, and you build friendships and confidence and trust, and you strategize. You do everything together. I will say that it'll be a different posture, I'm sure, after I win and moving into the general. I'm sure it's going to be a dogfight, but nothing like this one. But I am looking forward, to bringing all of our efforts to the end and doing the things that we need necessary to win.
Our team is really. I love our team.
Yeah.
It's a great team. It really is. It's 100 plus of active workers in your campaign, which is totally impressive. And the thing, I was sitting there the other day after our last staff meeting, which was real fun, right? And I was like sad a little bit. I was like, damn, we have one staff meeting left. All these young kids we have working from Purdue, all the diverse room that we have in age and race and where they live, all these people come together. We've been doing it once a week for months and months and months. And now it's like our last one's tomorrow. The last big staff meeting is tomorrow. And then after that, it's never the same after this, Jay. I remember my first campaign and I look back on it fondly, but this is special what we have right now.
Oh, sure. I don't know. I mean, it's just the way, I knew that coming into this race that in order to win or have a really fair shot that I needed to build a team and an organization. And I certainly could have not imagined that I would have built a team and had the support, of people around me. Certainly, people like Mayor Tom, that bring that political acumen here that frankly I did not have. And it has been a real ride. I've enjoyed it. I am looking for it to be over just for the, conclusion of it. And let's bring on Tuesday. Everybody, please, please, please get out and vote. Even if you don't vote for me, vote.
No,
please
stay
vote.
home if you're not voting for Jason. You could be nice. I don't want to be nice. Yeah.
Jason, one of the things that kind of struck me when we were just talking about the campaign team is that, your experience in the federal government was also running teams through there as an ATF agent, a special agent in charge, deputy special agent in charge, throughout on big cases. And I got to tell you, being an attorney for 30 plus years now, right? I've been in federal court, I've been in criminal cases, I've been involved in stuff like that. It is always impressive to me on how efficient, how professional, and how just like get to it the federal agents are. And you're one of those people, right? You were one of those people for decades.
Yes.
And so that's what's impressed me. Do you want to talk a little bit about just like your federal experience and how you think that helps and what it will bring, the professionalism it'll bring to Lake County?
So, with ATF, we are a small agency. We had about 2,500 agents worldwide. And any success that we have is through partnership. And in fact, one of our mottos for years at ATF was no better partner. And I believe in that. It's true. We like to pride ourselves on being a street level federal agency. So we get out and grind with, all of our state and local partners, and those partnerships matter. Any success I've had in my career, has come through partnership.
I like that motto, no better partner.
Yeah, that was ATF for years.
That was my experience working with you on the worst of the worst violent cases that we'd have.
Yes.
You guys would come rolling in, and we were always happy to see you.
And the Hammond PD was happy to see guys like Jason and ATF and the men and women of the ATF.
Because of the resources.
And the resources and the help.
And Kevin, and ultimately you're charging that person that committed the violent act with a federal crime as opposed to a state crime,
Correct.
which is federal crime is much more stiff sentencing, much worse accommodations, quite frankly, than a state would provide. And Jason, so when they would come rolling in, there was no better partner, in my opinion, when the ATF came rolling in.
Yeah, it's working with Hammond, for instance. There was a time that I had 2 Hammond PD task force officers assigned to both of our task forces, and you talk about a force multiplier not only for ATF but also for the city of Hammond. And we had task force officers from Gary, Chicago, Merrillville, Sherrillville, Hobart. I know I'm forgetting some people. East Chicago, state police, county police. I mean, these are the partnerships that you form. And you go out and you do good work, and you set the mission, you identify the bad people, and take them off.
That was one of my. I'm sorry.
No, go.
One of the things that's pleasant about being his campaign manager was the number of contacts he's had with officers across Lake County has really helped us a lot, because you'd go down to the Lowell PD or you go down to St. wherever you're going, whatever police department, Maryville, whatever, and there's officers that work with Jason
and know him,
and they're like going around their department like, oh my God, this guy is great, you got to support him. So the law enforcement support that we've received is because of that role. In my opinion, it's been outstanding.
Yeah, I tried to practice what I preach when I was out there in the field working, and when I was a boss supporting the men and women that I led, building those relationships and trust. They understand that, we're going to make the best federal case or state case out there. That's our goal, right? I don't care where it gets prosecuted, frankly. There's no special stars by my name if it goes federal or state. It doesn't matter. Let's make the best case we can.
And put the bad guy in jail.
Put the bad guy in jail.
I love it. And by the way, just a reminder, this is simulcast of Lockpod on WJOB AM 1230, and this is a paid program on WJOB.
Yeah, and you could subscribe to Lockpod while you're here. All you WJOBers,
Please do.
We don't compete very often. You could listen to us anytime. You could still listen to WJOB and Left of Center podcast. Just find us on your favorite streaming platform.
Jason, I want to ask you a question, because this is, and I actually want you to toot your horn a little bit here. One of the things, again, that impressed me was just the numbers. Like when you are on the stump and you're explaining to people the number of, gang violent offenders you've taken down, the number of murders your team and your partners solved on the streets. Can you just give us those? I mean, those numbers are so impressive.
Yeah, just to quantify them. So, it was over 100 gang members. I mean, just in the Latin King RICO case alone, which that was worked with Hammond PD, East Chicago, FBI, ATF, state police, and of course always the U.S. Attorney's Office. And we did 52 defendants in there, and we had nine homicides solved.
Just in that case alone.
Chris Godey and I worked very hard on that. Stu Henson, who's now with ATF, we worked very, very hard. Marty Chanupa was, he was from county. He was part of that. And, through those partnerships, we were able to exploit all of our assets and really take a bite out of that gang. In fact, I mean, we knocked out what was then known as Waco, the Goslin Street Latin Kings. That's just Hammond alone. But then we went to the north side in East Chicago and hit them. And then we went to Black Oak and did the Black Oak Kings as well. And huge impact.
He's arrested a lot of people.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. See, and that's what I know you're going to bring that to the county. I know you're going to bring that experience and those connections in the federal government to the county. And you've got you're the candidate, in my opinion, that has that experience. You're not running a small town police department. You're not running that someone that doesn't even work in law enforcement anymore. You are actually, you've done it, and you're going to bring those resources to the county. I mean, I think for the most part, I would think citizens of Lake County want to hear, oh, we're going to have a sheriff that has brought down significant bad guys before.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Kevin, you know what's funny about being his campaign manager is sometimes when you're in the political process, you're working with people that have had brushes with law enforcement.
Sure.
Okay? There's people in politics that maybe their spouse was arrested or maybe they themselves have been arrested and they've been on the wrong side of the law. Okay. And unfortunately, it's true when we're campaigning for office, we run into people that are elected officials or significant influencers, right, that have had brushes with the law in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I bring Jason someplace, and I'm like, hey, man, you got to meet this person. They were super important in this town we're in. He's like, no. And I'm like, wait. He's like, I arrested her husband. I'm like, what the fuck, Jason?
Oh, my.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So,
Dude.
Jason, let me ask you this real quick.
Oh, no.
Let me ask you this.
That's going to be expensive. That is going to be expensive, dude. Come on. Jim literally has been texting every 2 minutes. Don't cuss. Don't cuss.
Awesome. Thank you. Let me just ask you this about like things like that, and the idea that what you're going to do in Lake County is to bring those resources to the county. How does that happen? Like, how do you get those partnerships together so you can, as sheriff, like let's say you're sheriff right now.
Right.
How do you make sure and make the calls to get the federal folks into Lake County?
So
how easy is that?
So, well, it is very easy because it already exists. You know, so you have HIDA, which is the high intensity drug trafficking area. So we have Indiana HIDA that's based out of Lake County, ATF, DEA, FBI, U.S. Marshals, Secret Service. They all have task force there that need to be supported by our state and local partners. And having task force officers assigned to those gives you that bridge into into federal prosecution in the partnerships. So that that mechanism already exists. The things that I want to focus on is enhanced intel capabilities coming out of the county. Ideally, I would like to have a county-wide intel center, but it's not the sheriff's intel center. So it would be Hamm and PD's Intel Center. It'd be East Chicago's, who already has a very good one. Gary's, Crown Point, where everybody adds to it and takes from what they need, and then we're able to layer some analysis to take data into information. That's and then having the feds support that is probably the last real thing that we need to tap into.
One of the other things, and this isn't like it's. Trust me, I really enjoy seeing Maverick the Golden Retriever at the campaign headquarters. Yes, and I mean but the reality is as great and cute and lovely that Maverick is, right? Mm-hmm. And is that he actually it's important to talk about that part of you, that what animals mean to you, this whole idea of making sure and your commitment to the animal shelter in the county and your relationship with Indiana Humane. Yeah,
so Humane Indiana, I've sat on the board there for about 7 years now. It's been a great experience. For me personally, it allowed me to use another part of my brain. So much of what I do in law enforcement is, comes out of this side of my life and my brain and my thought process. And then joining this organization allowed me to think differently, to use the business acumen that I do have, and it's been really healthy for me. It helped round me out a little bit. I met great people, and I mean, who doesn't love animals, right? It's they do great work there on both dogs and cats, but also on wildlife. It's a great mission, great people, very, very dedicated.
Awesome.
I mean, the staff there, the volunteers that we have is incredible, and now pointed that towards the sheriff's department. We have the Lake County Animal Shelter there that frankly needs help. And, I think that I have a formula by which we can improve the infrastructure there, bring it up to standard, and really make it vibrant again, and do it, in partnership with the public in general, but also with some of the other animal welfare organizations in Lake County, which is what it should be.
That's great. We're going to bring Mayor Tom back out of the penalty box.
Yeah, man. I apologize, WJOB. Deeply. That was a total accident. I get a little too loose in Lockpod Studios. I apologize to Jim and the audience for what you heard earlier. It's not going to happen again. And so anyway, coming back, I don't want to focus too much on it, but I do apologize. So
sure. Yeah. You're back. Go ahead, Mayor.
Something significant happened in Lake County 2 days ago, I guess, right? I mean,
Wednesday, yes.
I think it caught us all off guard. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, there were rumors, but I mean,
I heard a
Rumors
lot
are
of rumors.
Yeah, we hear a lot of rumors. If we
Over the years, I've heard
Oh
so
my.
many rumors
Yeah,
that have
yeah.
turned out to not be true. So,
Very
like,
much.
I take it with a grain of salt when I hear rumors. So, we heard rumors, and then I woke up on, Wednesday? I was in
Yeah.
Indianapolis, and I started getting a lot of pictures sent to me of raids taking place throughout Northwest Indiana. That was your old job.
Yes,
You've been on those, right?
I have been on those.
Yeah. I thought, and obviously we learned there was a big gambling ring in Northwest Indiana, centered out of Geno's in Maryville.
Yes.
Right. I guess the Paragon in Hobart also.
Yes.
And the main target of all this was a gentleman goes by the nickname Jimmy the Greek. It was Jimmy Gerodimos, right?
Yes, sir.
You've arrested that person before? Is that true?
I did not arrest him. He had a former federal explosives case against him. I was the undercover in that case.
You were the undercover. So you're very familiar with this person?
Well, yeah, I mean, I had one real interaction with
You
him.
were part of a team that
Yes.
they gave him criminal charges.
Yes.
You've actually done undercover work. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I not extensively. You know, the thing about law enforcement for me getting into ATF was I wanted to do everything. So, I kind of wanted to be a utility person. So I wanted to do everything from, tactical, to management, to undercover work, to drugs, to homicides. I just wanted to really do everything. So, yeah, I have done. I mean, nothing to the degree that others within ATF have done. And I won't even match resumes. But on this case, I was the undercover.
So it's interesting, though. That was 10 years ago. This person, Jimmy Gerodimos, the owner of a couple of restaurants, including Geno's.
Yes.
Geno's in Maryville, by the way. There's a Geno's in Dyer that has nothing to do with this.
That's
I do
right.
want to point
That's my
that out. So,
understanding, yeah.
and they're still open, and I'm sure that they took a hit on their business. So if you want to be a good person, go to Geno's in Dyer and visit there, right?
It's a great place, too.
It is a great place, But so basically, obviously this whole thing is just another black eye for Northwest Indiana.
It is.
What's your thoughts on this? I went through campaign reports a couple nights ago after this happened, and I noticed that no candidates running for Lake County Sheriff accepted money except for one,
Yes.
and I posted about it yesterday.
Yes, you did.
I mean, this was not with your authorization, but like, did you think it was fair what I posted? I pointed out that Steve Flores, the police chief of St. John, took significant donations from two of the indicted people, and also one of the vehicles used to chase an undercover agent was a Local 81 vehicle, and Chief Flores took $5,000 from Local 81.
Yes, yeah. It just, just one little offshoot on that is, I know there's been a lot of attention about the use of the union vehicle, and that is in no way, shape, or form a reflection of the good men and women that work within that union, and I want to say that.
Agree.
And I don't have any communication or any relationship, I should say, with that union, and never have. But
Local 81.
Yes,
I don't
Local
even
81.
think they're really. They're mostly centered in Porter County.
I was going to say they're
Local
out east.
41 is those
Local
are our
41
guys.
is
Kevin Roach and those
Kevin
guys
Roach. Those are the
are
Lake County laborers, right? So and this is a Lake County race, and you would think that Local 81 would focus on Porter County, which is where they're mainly present. Why are they getting involved in a Lake County sheriff's race in the first place?
Yeah, but neither here nor there. I
Kevin?
just wanted to express. I just wanted to express that is not a reflection of the hard work that those.
I agree,
those
but
people
like
do
what I'm
today.
saying is it's confusing when you have a local from another part of the state that jumps into a Lake County race, and they're not only jumping in, they're dropping big money on the chief of St. John, and of course I pointed out they're also chasing undercover agents.
Well, one of their union members was arrested as part of the indictment, and it's the allegations against him are that he was kind of the muscle, for lack of a better term, of
Right.
of that
he
organization.
was the muscle. I mean, I know a lot of people are laughing because he doesn't look like a very intimidating person, but like the fact is he got paid 50% commission to chase bad debts and threaten and extort and do whatever you had to do to get that money back. And if he gets $5,000 back, he gives $2,500 to Gerodimos and he keeps $2,500 for himself.
Yes.
That's mob stuff.
Yes, it
and
is.
by the way, he donated to the police chief of St. John.
Yes.
And he chased an undercover agent in a vehicle that was owned by Local 81. Local 81 gave $5,000 to the chief of St. John.
Yeah,
These are bad conflicts.
Yes.
And by the way, the chief of St. John also took money from Jimmy the Greek, the main target.
Yes.
And if Chief Flores is successful and becomes the next Lake County sheriff, he's the one that's going to have to police Jimmy the Greek and his crew of mobsters.
Yes.
I don't get it. So I posted that, and it pissed a lot of people off yesterday.
Yeah, just a reminder: these are allegations, and the indictment still have to be proven in a court of law. But that's what the allegations are.
Yes.
Okay, it's pretty
Thank you.
extensive allegations.
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
read all 87 pages.
It was quite a read.
It was like a mob book.
Well,
like
I think what I would say, and again, this goes to what Jason used to do, right? I mean, it goes to show you how thorough federal investigators are. This wasn't like, oh, we did it last week.
Dude, this was like 2021, 2022. Text messages.
So that's the freedom that federal agents have, is that, as a local detective, you come in to work and there's a bunch of cases on your desk that you have to attend to, knowing that within 1 or 2 days you're going to get another pile. So we have the flexibility to invest ourselves in cases that we need to. We also have the resources and the patience to really vet these out from tip to tail and work these investigations and come up with all this, right? And we use legal mechanisms to get there, to collect the evidence necessary. And that's really, that kind of flexibility and lack of having to deal with things day in, day out, like the grind at a PD is different. So, yes.
Yeah, I think that's great. So you've got 4 days to Election Day.
4 days.
This has been kind of a race that is getting heated, more and more heated, I think. And Mayor just pointed out one of the things why.
I know. I mean, because I don't think this is something you gloss over. I think, honestly, what happened the other day in the Facebook post I posted yesterday, I think that's a big moment in the campaign. I really do. I don't think that. Now, if I was Steve Flores and Tom McDermott came out and made the allegations that said, you accepted, I'm running for sheriff. Let's say Tom McDermott's running for sheriff, and Steve Flores comes out and says, Tom McDermott took money from the guy that chased an ATF agent, the union whose truck chased the ATF agent, and the main target of the investigation. I would immediately hold a press conference and say, that's all true. It's not appropriate that I'm running for sheriff and I took that money and I'm refunding every single penny I took, because it's a bad look. Because if I'm elected sheriff, I'm the one that's supposed to police these people. Right. And they're trying to buy me off even before I'm sheriff. So instead, what they do, the Flores camp, they just get mad at me and they start attacking me. And by the way, in fairness, they pointed out I took $500 from Jared Demos when I ran for U.S. Senate. Okay, true story. I did. I didn't know it until they pointed it out. But guess what? I was running for U.S. Senate years ago, and I'm not in charge. If I would have won that race for U.S. Senate, I would not be in charge of policing Jared Demos and his group of mobsters. There's a lot different if you're running for Lake County Sheriff and you get greased off by a crook, as opposed to the U.S. Senate candidate that took in millions of dollars.
Yeah, I think again, the way I look at this, well, a couple things. One, I was surprised there wasn't a comment back from the campaign, just to respond. Okay,
still silence, guys.
Yeah,
still silence.
Number two, I think it goes to what I mentioned earlier, just that we're kind of in this continuous pattern of seeing kind of like the local influence in the sheriff's department. And, it goes back several sheriffs. And to me, that's why Jason's such a fresh candidate.
Can you expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to go back too far to see you had gun runners running out of the sheriff's office.
And that was under all due respect. I'm not trying to be a jerk. And he stopped talking to me because I said this on JLB the other day. It was under Roy Dominguez. Yeah, and when he was sheriff.
And just to be clear, Roy was never accused of doing anything wrong. I mean,
he was never in legal jeopardy.
Correct.
It was his
never.
People.
And Roy's an attorney. We know
okay,
Roy.
Kev.
But I mean, it was under his command.
Okay, but you're making it clear. Okay, Roy has nothing to do with it.
Right.
Okay, I guarantee if Tom McDermott's police department and Hamm PD was running gun parts all over the country and selling them and making money, you think that's not going to stick to me as the boss?
Of course it does.
It does.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Roy. It sticks to you. You had people working for you, and by the way, one of those guns was used in a cop shooting, if I remember correctly.
There was an armed standoff in Pennsylvania
with one of the guns that was bought by the Lake County Sheriff's Office.
One of the parts from the guns that was bought. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's bad. We could say it. So under Roy, it was good.
There were federal indictments when Roy Dominguez was sheriff of people that worked for him in the sheriff's department. Absolutely. Next sheriff in, JB, John Bunsich, ended up in federal prison for taking bribes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then currently, Sheriff Martinez, who we both supported in the past, Mayor, has had just a kind of spotted record, right? He got in trouble for a traffic issue that we talked about extensively here on LockPod. And then, within the last 6 months, 8 months, there's been issues with the commissary funds. Those have been reported in the paper, in the local media. So, again, I think the idea here is Jason's a fresh start. Jason's a fresh look. He comes from a federal background, and he's going to bring that into the sheriff's department. That's what I love.
If you want to break the string so we had problems from Dominguez. We had problems from Bunsich. We had problems under Oscar Martinez. If you want to break the string, don't send the chief from St. John, who uses the exact same team, back to this office. Send Jason Gore, the retired ATF agent.
Yep. Yep.
We got 1 minute left on WJOB.
Please and
I'm
thank
sort of
you. All right.
relieved, I'll be honest with you.
8:31.
I feel like my arms are tied behind my back in here. Like, I can't talk.
Wait till we're off JOB.
Yeah,
Look
like,
out.
Jim's like, please get this over with. I apologize to everybody for my comment earlier.
We do have to remind everybody this is a paid program on WJOB. We're simulcasting here from the Lockpod Studios, Left to Center podcast. Please subscribe and like us.
Subscribe, like. Thank you to Jim Didolo at WJOB.
Yes, thank you,
We're not
Jim.
going to end our show here when we go off there at 8:31. We're going to close out with Jason. But
Yeah.
to the WJOB audience, you got 40 seconds left with us in a first ever simulcast, maybe the last ever simulcast between WJOB and Left to Center podcast. Coming to you from Left to Center, we have John Vesmar, the producer. We have Jill Gajewski, who's our co-host. We have Kevin Smith and myself, your main host, Jason Gore, running for Lake County Sheriff. Lake County, don't forget to go out and vote for Jason Gore by Tuesday.
Early voting today till 3 p.m. Tomorrow, Saturday, 9 to 3. And on Monday, 9 to noon. Polling. Your local polling place is open 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Tuesday, election day.
This was a paid program. It was a simulcast. This was all Jim Didolo's idea. So thanks, Jim Didolo. We appreciate you. Take care, everybody on Lockpod. We're going out for WJB. Bye-bye.
All right, unload, Tom. Say all the cuss words
I
you want
cannot
now.
believe I did that.
For the love of
I
Mary and
cannot
Joseph.
believe
a
I did
Lockpod
that.
moment.
I cannot believe I
After
did
he
that.
reminded himself several times
I was talking to
today.
myself all week. It's because Jason gets me into the zone.
And
man.
you went,
It's like-
and you know what? You went heavy on the.
Yes,
big
it was a
too.
big F, too.
That was
Yeah.
the big one.
He didn't
Oh
just
my
say. He
God.
didn't just
It's
say
like, oh,
I heard
the only
fudge.
I heard fudge.
Did you
I heard
thanks,
fudge.
I mean, the only word I could have made worse is the C word. So like, at least I didn't do that. That would have made it much worse.
There goes Jason's campaign. Well, that was fun.
We're back on Lockpod where my arms are
Where Tom's
untied.
safe.
Oh my God, I can't believe I did that.
Oh, no. I just looked up. Oh, no.
What?
How much is a fine for cussing? I'm not even going to say it.
Yeah. So, Jim Didolo said clear. Fuck.
Does that feel better?
I texted Didolo like 20 times. I'm like, I am so sorry.
Tom's like, send me the bill.
Yeah. How
me
much
the
is the
bill.
bill, John?
What's
What's the worst case? I got good lawyers.
Worst case, $100,000 or more. And grounds for license to not be renewed.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, that doesn't affect me.
Where's WJOB? Well, it used to be. It was on the air for 100 years.
100 years until they
And Tom
simulcast
McDermott
it with
God.
Lockpod.
It's happened on JOB before. I've heard people on WJOB. The thing that you're supposed to do on terrestrial radio when you cuss
Let's
is
hit the
well, they
delay
don't have
button.
a delay. They don't have a delay. But like what you're supposed to do in the studios is you're supposed to act like it didn't happen. But we did not do that.
When you
we
mean
all
you
like
mean
we're
when
like, "Ah!" You're not supposed to do what we did.
You're not supposed to throw your.
Kevin and I are just looking at each other like,
I'm
where do we
"What's
go
my
from here?
question?" Let me talk about Maverick.
Yeah, let's talk about your dog.
As Tom's throwing his headphones down and is against the wall.
I'm sorry, Jim. I've texted him 50 times.
We've had some great Lockpod moments. That's right up there.
Oh my God! But you do you arrested a lot of people that we're trying to get votes from. For the record, it's like, Jason, we're trying to win here. You
Yes.
keep arresting all these people. I can't win your election, man.
Hey, Jason, before, we're going to wrap up in a little bit, but I know I know you've got a great team. I know, it's been so awesome to meet your family, Tracy and Wally and all those folks. I'm sure you want to say thank you to them. And talk about what hard work they've done.
When you run, especially your first time around, it's a family affair, right? I've had, my wife has been at my side the whole time with my little girl Claire.
A huge part of the campaign.
Oh yeah,
Tracy. Yeah, Claire too.
Yeah,
and Wally.
Yes, and Wally, my stepdad, out there on the sign brigade. My son Chris,
Yep.
it has been out there with us, and it does take a whole family. Then looking at our team, our social media team, and I bet you, I don't have my phone with me, but if somebody pulls up my
I'll do it right here. John, pull it up. We're
I
back
bet
on
you.
Lockpod.
Well,
I
I
gotta,
bet you
log
that.
in and stuff.
I bet you in the last 28 days. I have over 1 million views.
You do.
Wow.
On my Facebook page.
You do.
Because it was
Isn't
nine.
that something?
It was like
Yeah.
972,000 last night.
I know. That's more than I have, by the way. And I have like 25,000 people following me.
Yeah,
and you have
so
more views.
It
than
is
I do
their
right
work.
now.
It's They're young people. They're not being paid. They're learning as they go.
They're amazing.
They are amazing. They
Awesome.
follow me around.
There's
They mic
nobody
me
that's
up.
got a better social media team than us.
They edit all the videos, help me with captions. Just outstanding.
We got
And
John
John
help-
too. John too. I mean,
We have
John's-
John as like the grand poobah of the
he
social
is-
media team.
Well, he's like the mentor, right? I mean, he has
He's like
the
twi-
working knowledge as
Wow,
Kevin
they're
as
calling
well.
you old, John.
Yeah,
yeah, man, he's like twice
seasoned.
their age. Joe.
You're seasoned.
Thank you. I don't know how to say
Veteran.
thank you to that.
No, don't thank you for that.
But yeah, I did just check, and last 28 days, over 1 million views.
That is so
That's
cool.
1 million
We
views.
honestly, if there's
Think
one
about
part
that.
of the campaign we've dominated, it's
Oh.
definitely social media.
Yeah.
We've dominated social media from the get, which
I'm-
is awesome. That's
Well,
a big part of a campaign.
And
It
think,
is.
and you know, being parts of campaigns for now close to 25 years, right, with Mayor Tom. We were just talking the other day about what's changed, and the number one thing that's changed is the advent of social media.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
like, think about it. When we started, it was like the McDermott memo. Let's pass it
Yeah.
out around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Write a little newsletter.
Yeah.
Now it's like now it's constant, right? During your day. I mean, how many posts probably go up
Oh
a
my
day?
gosh.
Several, right?
Yes.
At least every
Yes.
day. Every
Yes.
day.
When they're on their game, yes.
Yeah.
And here's something else that I think has influenced this election more than any before is AI.
yeah,
Oh, for sure.
AI. The
definitely
use of
for
AI.
Dave Crane's campaign.
Well, certainly for his. but
he would have no
I-
campaign without AI.
Yeah,
he
it
better
is.
be pro data centers. That guy.
Actually, he wasn't.
He's using up an entire data set.
I know. There's like one data center devoted to his campaign.
Has he made you look better or worse on social media?
I think he has a crush on me, dude. He has, my AI face is 10 times better than my real face.
You look
Like,
really good.
I know. It looks
like
like JFK Jr. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, I'm going to use that as my profile pic.
Yes, I got to tell you, but the use of AI has definitely changed and will, continue to influence and change, elections.
Yeah,
for
without a
sure.
doubt.
And it's so that's been kind of interesting. So we're kind of in that, being a Gen Xer, we went from, corded phones to cell phones
yes.
to
Yeah.
computers, stuff in our pocket. And this is just one more thing that a Gen Xer is going through is the use of AI. So it's
Yeah, that's amazing. Think about that. We went like from typing class in high school to now we're doing AI. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep.
I like
Let
your
it-
dude. Tell me about that shirt. By
I
the
got
way.
it from a fan. Like,
Oh, it's got Indiana's all
Look
over.
at
yeah,
that.
isn't that cool? It's got little Indiana flags.
trying to
and
figure out what
little
those were.
Indiana. Yeah, it's our state. Bro.
That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't it neat? Yeah. I forgot their name. I sent them a thank you card, but they, I guess they ran into me at the fest, and he had a shirt on like this, and I told him how much I loved his shirt. Because if I see somebody with a nice Hawaiian shirt, I'm like, dude, that's my style. And then he came walking in the other day. Well, it was the council meeting. He gave it to me. It was so nice. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
went out of their way. It fits
Wow.
perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's nice.
Looks good on you.
Yeah.
So what's the next 3 days look like? 4 days.
Communicating with voters, getting out, trying to shake as many hands as possible, working the phones. Tomorrow morning is our last volunteer meeting.
I love Saturday
I'll
meetings.
have the Gore for Sheriff bus out there if you want to go early vote, just like we did last week. We took 65 people to the polls last week.
It was
I told
awesome.
everybody.
Wasn't that awesome?
Cool.
I told everybody it was 100. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, your secretary counted them, so
Yeah.
she gave me the official count.
Yeah.
But that's
You're
great.
supposed to exaggerate upwards like
wow,
30%.
He wants
Or
to be accurate, man.
50%.
He's a lawman.
Yeah,
These
that's
guys are
true.
on the facts.
I know. I'm trying to teach him to be a politician. It's like,
want a
take a
lawman.
number, multiply by 1.5, and then that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, that was a really cool day for us. We were in the headquarters, and I have my own office in the headquarters, and Tom, myself, and my wife were in there having a quick meeting, and we opened the door, and the place is packed.
It's
You
awesome.
can't beat
It was
that.
packed.
You
I love
can't
our
beat
Saturday.
that.
Couldn't hear him
Saturday
come
meeting.
in.
Our
It
Saturday-
was
our
So if you want to
Saturdays
come
were
out tomorrow, it's our last one. I'd love to thank everybody. Also, if you have people that want to come to the polls and need a ride to the polls, let us know. We'll get you there.
Where's the meeting?
It is at 7233 Indianapolis Boulevard. It's the Gore for Sheriff headquarters, right behind Shoop's Restaurant.
Right off the highway, by the way.
Yes,
Right off the
yes.
Indianapolis Boulevard,
It's a
north
great
exit.
location.
Yeah, you can get there very easily.
You know what? Also saying thanks to people. One, Kristen Self.
Yeah.
That's our
Awesome.
consultant. I have our
From
consultant.
the get, she's been with Jason even longer than I did.
Yes,
as
yeah.
campaign
And she
manager.
drives
She
up
was-
from Indy all the time, so I appreciate her.
We've been with Kristen in multiple campaigns.
Yeah.
She's an excellent.
She's a
she's
seasoned campaigner.
She is a soldier, and
Yeah.
she's been great for our campaign. The detail, we are the ideas, and then Kristen implements it with the details.
She's in the
great.
field. She's on the ground. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then of course, the owners of the businesses next to my headquarters who
Yeah,
every Saturday lose parking for their breakfast.
It's getting a little rough over there.
I say thank you.
Why don't you name them?
Yeah.
So
Well, we got Lupe next door. She's Bella Hair Studio.
Yes.
Lupe is a sweetheart, and we have been eating up her parking on Saturdays for like weeks now. Lupe, we love you, and we promise you're going to have a whole summer of not eating up the parking lot. We'll be back. We'll be back in the fall.
We'll be back in the fall.
And then we got Anna over there at Shoop's. Anna
Yes.
runs Shoop's Burgers in Hammond. It's on South Hammond on the 7100 or 7200 block of Indianapolis Boulevard. The best Shoop's in the area, of course, and they're big fans of Jason also. So thank you to our neighbors and the Shoop's building. We call
Yes.
it.
I want to make sure we talk about where if people are out there wanting to learn more about Jason Gore, what's the website? What's the Facebook page?
Facebook page is Jason Gore for Sheriff. The same thing on TikTok and I believe Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. And then
that's right.
the website is Jason Gore for Sheriff.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and I put that in chat too.
Yeah.
So.
Great. You want to wrap us up, Mayor?
We did
Tom?
it. We did
We did it.
Good to see you, brother.
You too. You too.
Can't
Good
wait till
luck Tuesday,
Tuesday.
man.
It's going to be.
It's gonna be great.
It's going to be a day.
We're going to either be happy eating tacos or we're going to be eating
We're
sad
gonna be
tacos.
happy.
We're going to be
We're
eating
gonna
happy
be happy.
tacos.
This is going to work out
We
the
got
way
a
it
taco
should.
truck, Joe.
You can't
So-
be sad eating tacos.
That's
I
true.
know.
Good point, Jill.
That's like a campaign joke. I was talking to Jason's wife, Tracy, and she's talking about tacos. I'm like, I hope they're happy tacos, not sad tacos.
The meat falls out when there's sad tacos.
Yeah. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks,
we did
everybody.
it. We did it. Only one flub. That was on me. I'll
Okay,
take it.
we won't let you forget it.
I know. That's going to make the Lockpod greatest hits, I'm sure.
Oh, without a doubt.
Thank you, Joe.
Easily.
That's top 5 material. And I don't even want
yeah.
to know what the other ones are.
Yeah. No, there's some bad stuff. Yeah, we don't need to rehash.
Oh, it's bad.
We don't need to rehash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Thank you, Jill. It's great to see you back. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You've been with us how many seasons now?
It's a blur.
It is, literally.
It
You've
really
been
is.
We
at
like
least 15.
10 a year, right? So, I mean,
3 a year, thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
Yeah.
feels like 10.
But you've been with us for years, and you're great, and we love you, and it's great to see you back. And then Jay Vez, awesome job coordinating that. Thanks for
you.
doing that. And it's pretty cool that we have that option. I'm sure Jim's not too excited about exercising that option into the future.
We had a huge syndication simulcast future that I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
Now it's maybe.
We're podcasters. What can you say? That's why Jim kicked us off the radio.
Right back
allegedly,
down
so.
here in the podcast studio.
He
We-
brought this on himself.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you guys. Everybody listening. If you're still listening to us on JOB land, I know you're not doing it through terrestrial radio, but, you could subscribe to Left of Center podcast. Subscribe. You'll get all of these. We're on twice a week. We're going to be back on Tuesday with another great episode. That's an Election Day episode. So those are the best. So thank you, Jason.
Thank
I
you so
can't
much
wait.
for allowing me to come on.
Thanks,
I
brother.
appreciate it.
Go
Thank
vote.
you, Jim.
Jason, you're a great candidate, man. It's
thank
been
you
fun.
so much.
It's been fun working with you.
Awesome.
It really has. You're easy to work with.
Good. Thank
Because
you.
there's sometimes you get involved in campaigns where you end up not liking the person you're working with. I really like you a lot. I think you're a great guy. And
Impressive.
you're going to be a great sheriff, man.
Thank you.
I'm,
Thank you
I'm
so much.
Really
That means a
proud.
lot to me.
I'm really proud that I did this. I'm really proud that everybody's jumped on board with you, and I hope that we're successful on Tuesday. So,
We are going to be. Don't
Good.
forget, Jason Gore for Sheriff, everybody.
Go vote. Go
Thank you,
vote.
thank
Go
you, thank
vote.
all right. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Lockpod. That's season 18, episode 2 in the books. We're going to be back on Tuesday. Thanks, everybody. Lockpod's out.